It's Ehizoje, everyone's favorite Nigerian.
This that real life shit, nigga.
Michael, what hot takes you got?
My hot take is...
Please point to the camera. Let them know.
My hot take is I genuinely believe that we're like very, very close. And by that, I mean like within our lifetime, like comfortably, of seeing not the erasure of like custom media or like human created media, but like the aggressive devaluation of, in the same way that we saw like Blockbuster get put out of there by Netflix. I think we're very close to seeing like the majority of the media on Instagram or on movies or on whatever the fuck is like not human generated. It's like
AI,
like some form of AI generated or AI influenced. And I think it's like it's so close that like it might already be happening in small scales and we're just not aware of it yet. And the only reason I feel that way and feel that way strongly is like Twitter, like word social media is probably always going to be impossible to tell. But like with like Instagram and shit, like from filters to like AI accounts having millions of followers to like TikToks that are like only AI videos having millions of streams and views and shit like that, it's just gonna get cheaper because it's gonna be like, why should I pay James when I could just make AI James that like does whatever the fuck I want him to, and like nobody knows the difference. I think it'll start when like the younger generation that's like kids now get to being like 20s, college age, because our generation will just know, we'll be like, that's fake. But like 4-year-olds will be like, this video of a dog doing push-ups is real, and they won't know any different, and like they're fucked.
I agree.
Yeah, it's gonna get bad.
But I also will say, I think the same way like our parents are like get tricked pretty easily by AI. I think by the time like kids actually grow up with AI, they'll be able to
they'll differentiate.
Yeah, and there'll be technology in place to be like, oh, this is AI generated. This is like is real, verified, real type shit. So I think it's one of those like we won't know until we get there.
Trump signed something recently, not the big beautiful bill, but another thing that lets states decide on AI legislation for the state.
And I see that.
I think that's gonna fuck it up.
That is in the big beautiful bill.
That's it. Okay, I didn't know it was a part of it. But I think that
pages, crazy.
that's gonna make it bad because I think that like I don't trust all the states to be like, let's make sure that we're keeping like honest content at the forefront over profits. And I think there's just more money for like the non-civilian side of that in let's just get a bunch of cheap free content out as opposed to like paying all these small individual people what they're deserving of.
I feel that. James,
but I think it's gonna get bad.
You got a hot take, James?
I do. I think my hot take, I think the notion of dogs are a man's best friend is a slap in the face to horses.
Okay.
Elaborate.
Horses, we've used horses for agriculture, war, and transportation for quite literally for thousands of years, like probably since the dawn of humanity up until probably the 1920s, right?
Model T.
Like horses have died with us in war. We wouldn't have the progress we've made in humanity without horses for thousands of years. Think about every major infrastructure that was created before like the 1900s. It was somehow like a horse was involved. Think about the pyramids. Think about the leaning tower of Pisa. Yes, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay. Like you import horses. I'm not saying horses are native to Egypt.
No, I wasn't either.
I don't think horses can take the desert terrain.
Yeah, I think that's a camel business, but I could be wrong.
Well, whatever. Horses have like throughout any country, throughout literally most like the vast majority of human history, have been an integral part of us making progress in anything. Horses have like legit been blown up by cannons, motherfucker, and the French Revolution and the American Revolution and the Civil War. Like, and it's like, imagine doing all that shit, and we say dogs are a man's best friend.
So I like to take, this is all I'll say about that. A lot more niggas would have depression if dogs weren't around.
Hey man, man.
So you could say like, oh, like horses were a tool for it. Yeah, it's a tool. Like they always view them as tools versus like dogs they actually befriended dogs and domesticated dogs. Okay. So I do think there is a little difference, but I wouldn't be mad if somebody said like, nah, it should be horses.
And also real quick, think about how lucky we are. Well, my shit's like glitching. My
yeah, you clipping.
Touching that cord, buddy.
Yeah. Thousands of years.
Let me see.
we're very lucky to be born in the sliver of human history to not have to rely on horses every fucking day. Cause that shit became like cars became like a normal thing, a commercial thing, in the 1930s, compared to like thousands and thousands and thousands of years prior. We got really fucking lucky we dodged like having to use horses every day.
In like 30 years, there's gonna be kids or teenagers or people in their 20s or early 30s on a podcast couch like this one here, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, we're really fucking lucky we got AI. I can't believe niggas used to write essays with their hands and they used to have to type shit on computers. Like
even keeping it in there, it could be like, we're really lucky we have self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Niggas used to have to drive themselves to work and blah,
Well,
blah, blah.
I don't think that's gonna be a thing in 30 years.
Oh, I think it'll be.
like I think that's gonna be a normal thing in 30
self-driving
years.
cars?
I think it'll be sooner than that.
I see a Waymo every day.
I seen a Waymo on the way here.
I don't think Waymo is gonna be as successful as people think it's gonna be.
Not even just
it already took over Tesla's like market cap.
People that, like, I think the city of Culver City, like people in that, like people are like protesting and writing petitions to get them the fuck out of, like they're still controversial to where it's not widely accepted.
I'm not trying to like completely erase your point, but like I'm sure when like the Model T came out, mad niggas was like protesting and like we need to keep horses because like I'm not saying that it'll be
That's literally my point. Every time somebody
and granted, there's a big difference. Like there's like horses in a car. Horses in a car is a way bigger gap of convenience than a self-driving car and a car that you drive yourself.
I'm not saying
it's like a way bigger gap of convenience.
I don't think it'll be 1-to-1. Like I don't think it'll literally be replace horses. And no, but I do think that like we're about to see the traditional notion of like, hey, I bought this car and when I'm not driving it, it sits in my house and like I take it to work. I think that notion within 30 years could very easily look night and day different. Just because it's cheaper. It's like it's cheaper. It's just cheaper.
And also I think self-driving cars, I think that's still like even 30 years from now, I still think that's something that like rich people can only afford, even 30 years from now.
Bro, 30 years ago, we didn't even have auto park.
30 years is a long time, bro.
Like 30 years, we didn't have backup cams. We didn't have like blind spot monitors.
It's completely different from a self-driving car.
Bro,
like
look
that's
at
a feature on a car.
Look at phones and laptops and PlayStations from 30 years ago.
The thing about technology is that like over time, it accelerates.
It's exponential.
Yeah. So like it gets even quicker to like have improvements like as time goes on because you have better technology to help with those improvements.
Are y'all gonna view 30 years from now? Are y'all gonna roll your eyes when if self-driving cars aren't as prevalent as y'all are telling me it's gonna be? Are y'all gonna roll your eyes at me when I say I told y'all were wrong?
I don't think you would say that because. One, you're not even gonna bring it up because not only are we gonna have self-driving cars, there's already self-flying like I don't know if
self-flying vehicles.
Yeah. There's like Joby and Archer are like they already have like these deals in place in Dubai where there's gonna be like
James, I'll do you this way.
Just because
we don't have to go 30 years. We can go to the Olympics. When the Olympics are in LA, you will be having an entirely different opinion than you do about this today.
I read the article about they're going to be transporting. Like I get that. Just because I'm just saying just because a technology exists, I'm not saying this technology won't exist. I'm saying I think y'all are saying it's going to be more mainstream. I think it's going to be more mainstream than it actually is going to be 30 years from now.
It's kind of like
30 years actually. It's a long time from now, but it actually isn't that.
Bro, 30 years ago, we didn't have Wi-Fi.
Wait, when was the first electric car?
I don't know. Probably like what, the early 2000s?
It's like 10 years ago. But now, or maybe 15. Now, every single car brand has an electric vehicle.
The first
even Hummers came out and made an electric
The Hummer EV.
Like, bro, like
James, the only reason I push back isn't because I like want it to be this way. It's only because like if you look at like what EJ was saying about it being exponential, it's not gonna be like in 30 years we'll be like driving our cars the same way. Like we might not even have phones in 30 years. Like tech is going through a boom right now.
It's gonna be a standard, bro.
I hate the first electric car was in the 1830s.
Yeah, it's old. But it wasn't electric in the same sense as like that wasn't a Tesla.
Like was it like off of lithium batteries? Like
that wasn't a Tesla.
What type of electric
cool.
I
no. So back like let's say in the 1830 whatever the fuck this shit was created. That's like somebody saying electric cars exist now. So in 30 years electric cars are gonna be like the norm. It's like just,
not,
okay. Like we're not like 30 years.
We don't have 1830s technology.
It's not just because they exist. Like if it was just because we had electric cars, then I'd agree with you, James. But it's like. If you ever just want to feel poor, look up the amount of money that companies are putting into like building these, and it's not millions, it's like billions. So like my thing is like, I don't think it's going to be this way because I think that's the better way and that's how it should be. I think it's going to be that way because whenever billions of dollars are spent on something, like when we spent billions of dollars on this military shit, the world's going to look notably different 30 years from now.
I think 30 years from now, Americans are going to be really, really poor. I think they're going to be really poor.
That's why I said
the way this economy is headed, I think like that's still going to be like an item rich people or people of upper middle class can afford.
But here's the thing where I think we're kind of like have different thought processes about it. I think the self-driving car will be a luxury the same way having a car is a luxury. And like the same way, like it's just going to be an option in your vehicle. The same way like you
think it's going to be a feature.
Yes, you could just go ahead.
I think it'll be more than in 30 years. I think it'll be more than a feature.
You could click cruise control right now, right?
Yeah.
And you could have been did that. There's gonna be a self-drive like button where you just put an address in, you go self-drive, you take a nap, and your car's just doing whatever. I was
real quick, James.
I was going out of a Chick-fil-A and this cop was like parked on the side. He threw his sirens on, and the Waymo stopped.
Oh no, this shit's smart.
Yeah, no, they're smart.
Like this shit's about to be out of here, bro.
But James,
Actually, I hate Waymos.
To your point, I don't think that it's the same thing because it's like if you were to tell somebody about Wi-Fi from like 40 years ago and you're like, oh, you have to, when you go to the cafe, you have to be careful with what you do because your information will be on there. They might have looked at you and be like, they can't get my information because my information is on a card in my mattress at home. And it's like, well, no, in the future.
Or the cloud.
I remember.
What I'm getting at is like,
so I can respond.
You're looking at it through the lens of today. And so like I'm not saying I can and you can't. I'm saying neither of us can predict what the new
we don't know. We don't know what's going to. Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. But what I'm saying is they're spending so much money that like whether it's good or bad, whether it works or doesn't, whether it's like, oh shit, I got to get in the Waymo, might get hit today. I think it's going to be a thing because they've just spent so much money that they're going to have something to show for it. Whether it's a good product or a bad product, they will have a product and we will be forced to use it.
When I was a child, when I was as early as I can remember is when I was like 7 or 8. I remember reports, not like I was sitting down reading a fucking Bloomberg.
Something you were reading, yeah.
But like just that I would hear about. Like it was a constant that they say, hey, we're 20 or 30 years away from flying cars being the norm. That the flying cars clearly aren't the norm, and I'm 31 years old. Like I feel like when it comes to like the automotive industry and like what's normal,
you don't think the form factor will change though?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Like you don't think that the form factor, like phones today look. Phones. If you had told somebody,
I'm not
30
talking
years
about
ago,
phones. I'm talking about cars specifically.
But I'm saying with the technology,
we gotta move on. We're going in.
It's just. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Tangent cubed. That's what we are. Tangent cubed, bro. All right. My hot take. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to retire top 5 point guard of all time.
So what do you think the list will be by the time he retires?
That's a good question.
Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Shai Gilgeous, Chris Paul.
Oh, you think he's 3? Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Shai Gilgeous, Chris Paul, Isaiah Thomas. No specific order.
You think
felt like an order though.
You think Chris Paul is above Isaiah Thomas?
He said no particular order.
Oh, no particular. I'm sorry.
It just felt like
just don't. The way you were ranking it, when we said Magic, Steph, I guess I just heard
you
it like
projected your own top 5
I did
onto
too.
my list.
No, I mean, but that's like when people say the top 5 point guards. That's usually the first 2 people say. So I'm thinking you're saying
yeah, on
order.
your list, that's your top 2, right?
Well, no, I'm saying most people
On your list, is it your top 2?
Yeah,
So you projected your
No, I'm
list
not going off of my projection. I'm going off of I don't think LeBron is the greatest player ever. But if you were to say I think the greatest players ever is going to be LeBron James, Michael Jordan, this and that, I would think, it sounds like you're reading off like what you think is the top going to be
popular opinion.
based on what other people say, because other people like that's like usually what other people say. I don't even really have Steph as number 2, me personally. Like for real, I think Steph is a shooting guard, but we're not gonna make a basketball debate. But I that's why I thought you were going in order.
NBA players say he's a point guard. Like Steve Nash just talked about how he's the greatest shooting point guard of all time.
Cool.
I think it's a popular opinion, but I think Shai, with the way he plays, I don't think it's a crazy take to put him in the top 5. I do like it kind of because I don't know, the nigga's just different, bro. The nigga slick Kobe, but playing a different position.
I think that nigga reminds me of Kobe a lot. I think that nigga for real I think his actual natural position is shooting guard.
It's a good take. Shit.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to